Are y'all bitches ready?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the trifecta?
Something about a still, barrel, char, and queso.
Ah! New barrel. You got it?
Sorry.
It's the dream!
So today's episode, we're going to be learning a little bit about stills, maybe some flamethrower action, but specifically want to get into the different ways to heat a still, because the tribe's distillery is actually looking at getting an adult-sized still. We talked about the difference between column stills and pot stills before.
Right? Hybrid stills, which is what we have.
But we have recently come to the conclusion that the choke point for all things crowded barrel releases,
It's a still.
the still size.
Yeah, shocker.
Whenever you can fit that thing into the UPS box.
Yeah.
So we need to upgrade.
But one of the things we started looking into was how are we going to heat this thing? Because we have some limitations.
The way stills are heated, apparently there's different options here. There's not a simple turn the heat on and it warms up the... No. There's considerations.
Now, the most commonly used way to heat stills today is steam. It can be spread out throughout the entire distillate in pipes and more evenly heat things up, so you can heat up stills a lot more quickly. The production process time gets shrunk down. There's a couple of ways though. Sometimes they will run steam pipes inside of a still and coiled. Sometimes they'll run them in a jacket around the exterior of the still. But either way, it's even heat distribution is the goal.
So it sounds like at pretty much every major distillery these days, they're doing steam powered stills.
Yeah, and somewhere on the property you'll find a giant piece of machinery that is converting water into steam. And the cool thing about some of the best distilleries is they reuse heat from all the different parts of the process to power other parts of the process, so there's very little loss on energy. We're doing construction. There we go.
Right, what are the downsides to basically steam heating your still?
Turns out that the machines that create the steam at a level high enough to heat up a large still are very big and they're very, very noisy. And we are on a tourist property. That's not gonna work.
Basically, when it comes to steam, you have...
It's super efficient.
And it takes a lot of room, too. That's too much wiggle.
No, you're holding it when you...
The craftsmanship is what I crave, Daniel. All things.
Is that true?
The other option...
You can also go electric. So you can use electricity to heat up heating elements that are inside the still. So that the wash is in direct contact with heating elements. The little baby one we have is actually electric heating element. I feel like I need a little more foil here. Let's go look at our still.
The hybrid small still we've been working with, this has been electric.
And by the way, don't tell Deb.
Deb's on vacation and she tried to get me to promise I wouldn't touch the still.
No promises were made.
Oh yeah, there's the electrical element.
There's the electrical element.
Does that ever run the risk of burning?
Yes, it does. So here's the thing that you have to be careful of when you have the heat direct contact with what's in there, is that if it gets too hot too fast, it can scorch what's inside of there. So you got to do a slow roll heat to bring the whole thing up to temperature.
So basically, some babysitting has to happen to make sure things don't get too hot and start scorching.
Absolutely. And some people will have, like, see this little opening right there?
Oh, yeah.
You can put into there a motor that will keep wash that's in there moving.
Yeah.
And circulating over that.
Yeah. So worst case scenario, something in here does spend too much time right on that electrical heating element and it gets scorched. Like, how does that change?
You got to dump the whole thing.
The whole thing gets ruined?
The whole thing's a loss.
Wow, okay. Are there other ways to do electrical other than just shoving a heating element directly inside there?
Yeah, you can use Bain-Marie Style, which is essentially Bain-Marie Style is when you place the still inside of another container that has a fluid like oil or in it, right?
So there's a jacket.
So yeah, there's a jacket that goes around it and then you heat the layer that then in turn heats the still.
Okay. Benefits of an electrical heating: doesn't have the noise.
Doesn't have the noise.
You can fit the setup in a smaller location.
Yeah.
You got to be careful not to burn it though. If you have that direct heating element inside the still, but this Bain-Marie thing where you're heating the jacket around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming some power requirements though. It has to be like a heavy duty.
Yeah, you've got 3-phase power requirements that start being requested at that point, and that's not something you can run out of your backyard.
Have you guys seen Still It, Jesse's channel?
Yeah.
It's a good channel. No, I don't know why I thought of that, but still, it's a good channel.
We're limited by the space and by the electric level that we have running to this building. And so we're going to be angling for like a 200 to 500 gallon, probably Bain-Marie Style still.
Yeah. We're starting to narrow down the stills that we're seriously considering, yeah? Mm-hmm. That's going to be a vote that's going to come up in the Patreon as soon as the money is set aside for that still. Then, yeah, you MBs are going to choose between, hopefully we're going to have at least 3 options for you guys to choose from.
I think that's it right there. All right.
How we doing, Emma?
Good.
What you got going?
I'm going to grab the vodka to put in the barrel for you.
Oh, thank you. She's prepping some barrels for a future episode. Whiskey has been happening longer than steam power and electrical power.
Yeah.
What did they do back in the day?
Just the way they heated up everything back in the day, which was with direct flames. There are still distilleries that do that.
My read on the distilleries that are doing that, these aren't typically the ones that I can recall, aren't the giant pipeline of whiskey.
Oh, you would be
really
wrong.
I would assume that this would be the small craft guys who want to do it in the old ways.
No, there are some very large Scottish distilleries that are using, and they're not using wood, fire, and coal, they're using propane. They're using natural gas to direct heat things. And they actually had to build the stills so that the bottoms are conical and rise up. And then because they're direct firing those flames, they actually have to build equipment that drags the bottom of the still. You can't burn it until what you do is you keep it moving.
Direct flame, old school direct flame.
Yeah, I mean there are some small distilleries I've read of doing open flame like coal fire and like wood fire. That is hardcore, and you have to do some really serious safety mechanisms to keep vapors from encountering an open flame.
Right. And that would be like the maximum amount of babysitting on every level.
Oh yeah. Let's see if we can attach these candles. We are just gunking it up over here.
So we're gonna let this set and then explore the brave new world of heating the still via flamethrower. Right, Emma?
Yes.
Hey, you know, I just realized something.
What?
If this works, we could use double duty. We could even use it to char barrels.
This is the perfect balance of old world soul with new world efficiency.
Yes. Innovation.
And we can melt cheese, because I like queso.
I like the queso idea.
Oh!
Yeah.
This is the ultimate trifecta.
Yeah.
Heat the still, char a barrel, and make queso.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, 3. And make queso.
Yeah.
John.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the trifecta?
I am not.
Your job depends on it, John.
Something about a still, barrel char, and queso.
Oh! You got it! What's this, Emma?
I'm hydrating the barrel.
Hydrating the barrel.
Yes.
So, because when barrels get dry, they tend to leak. But if you get liquid in them, water in them, the wood swells up and you're usually good to go, yeah?
This is a new barrel. We haven't used it before.
New barrel. Oh, he did!
You got it?
Sorry.
All right, running a quick experiment, seeing if we can get just lighter fluid to work on our very high quality
Probably good, yeah.
flamethrower. If we can get this to work, then we'll dial in a whiskey. Steady hands right here.
It's kind of windy.
How about I just tilt it like that?
Yeah, that looks like it's going.
Wait, are these, did you get sparkler candles?
I don't know. Looks like it.
Ready?
Yeah. Wait, let's see that again. Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
That really works.
Are y'all bitches ready?
That's way too much fun. All right, now
We have proof of concept.
Yes, we definitely do.
Let's blow this out.
The question is, can we do it with whiskey?
You're in the presence of whiskey science.
Behold, peasants!
Emma, we said we wanted the trifecta.
Yes.
What was the trifecta?
Queso.
What else? Come here, come here, come here. With the whiskey powered flamethrower, we would need to heat a still. We got a temperature gauge. Also, char a barrel whilst
Make it queso.
making queso. You get the raise. Reprimand. So if you look here, we're gonna stuff the cheese, and then we got a cheese hole for the cheese to melt, and then... Are you beholding the whiskey science?
That's such the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Beholding?
That's amazing.
There have been a few moments in human history where people have achieved various forms of trifecta.
Okay.
But quadfecta?
What's the fourth?
Fend off our enemies
Oh.
with molten cheese. So you can battle,
You can battle.
distill, char, and queso.
And have queso.
Simultaneously, one apparatus. And here's the best part. The best part. I was running the numbers. Hopefully we can get the flamethrower going with whiskey.
Okay.
This is an infinite power machine.
Because it just makes more whiskey.
Then you have infinite amounts of energy for free forever.
You've been running the numbers, huh? Checks out.
We have the proof of concept,
Yes.
moment of truth.
Yes. So I
Yeah,
searched
what did we
the
get?
store
Yeah.
for the highest proof whiskey in the whole store. And unfortunately for our friends at Balcones, it was Balcones cask strength True Blue. What do you think, a little more?
Danny, we have to heat a still and char a barrel.
Oh yeah, I forgot
and
about
melt
the whole part of the
queso.
process.
There's a lot of flame action going on here.
That's true. Here's the thing is, there's a high likelihood this one's not gonna work. We're gonna have to dump it back out again, which is why I'm not filling it all the way up.
Well, no.
Because if it does work, we can keep putting more in there.
Are you really trying to be an adult in this situation?
Yeah. I'm trying to be responsible with the True Blue cask strength.
And the flamethrower.
Made out of a children's toy. Are you ready?
I'm gonna do a priming pump.
Yeah, prime it.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Oh, we're wasting whiskey. What's the temperature on the still? We're gonna see if we can raise that temperature.
74 Fahrenheit. There we go, and we got a good flame.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Oh,
No, I
no.
put it out.
Oh,
Oh, no.
come on. Come on.
No, it's not happening.
No!
I think we're gonna have to go higher proof.
Oh.
I don't think whiskey's gonna work, man. Look.
So the dream, infinite free renewable energy powered by whiskey, that's not a thing.
But a still can also make vodka.
So what fancy vodka did we get?
What is it at? 190? There you go.
All the way to the top.
I'm wondering if this will work. I don't have the faith. I just think it's surprisingly large capacity.
It's better to incapacitate your enemies with.
Jeez. It's never gonna fill up. Oh, there it is. It's windy today. Oh, we got something. Whoa! Go, 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 go! Okay, where's the cheese? Whoa, somebody get cheese! We need queso! Where's the cheese? Hang on! Look, I got cheese! Oh, here, nope, come back.
Cheese all over there.
Ah, that looks kind of good, actually.
Now we need it to come down the cheese hole.
All right. Come on, baby! It's melting! Don't let that flame!
Barrel is on fire. The temperature, I think we're going up on the temperature. Daniel, shoot. Oh wait, we need more flame. Keep going until it's empty. Look at the drippings. Daniel, look at the drippings. This is the quadfecta.
Music vodka to char, eat a still, burn our enemies, and make queso!
It's the dream.